from Talen Energy Stadium in Chester, Pennsylvania. It's a girls' soccer tri-county conference intra-division matchup between Gloucester County Institute of Technology and Deptford High School. Hello, I'm Zach Bates alongside Brittany Cullison. GCIT comes in today with 2 straight losses against Toms River East and Morris Tech, Morris Tech being yesterday. Brittany, how hard is it to come back in a game like this and play 2 straight losses?
2 straight losses is really rough, but at the same time, I think GCIT is kind of at an advantage because that kind of lights a fire under you. It kind of gets you going like, okay, we don't want to end our season on a loss. I mean, it's not every chance that you get to play an extra game and be able to say you ended your season at a win.
Deptford hasn't played since October 30th. How hard does it come in not playing for almost a week and a half?
See, that's really rough, honestly. I feel like they might not have that like fire under them, going out and not having that competition to keep you going that GCIT was able to have just yesterday. I feel like it might have put them at a little bit of a disadvantage for this game.
Megan Guarantee, just a sophomore, one away from breaking Jess Beck's single season scoring record. Jess Beck, we know, the senior or freshman at Rowan. I believe you played with Jess. Talk about how interesting it would be to see another girl break a record that took Jess a while to beat.
Yeah, Jess coming in as a freshman was just a star. She was amazing coming in when I was playing. I knew she was the real deal. To see her at Rowan, I'm sure she probably would love to see somebody challenge her record because she set some standards for this team, and I know her and Megan last year when they played hand in hand together, and that was kind of Jess's protege as she was leaving. So I think if she can put one away, Megan can put one away today, I think Jess would be pretty proud of her, and I think she would probably congratulate her for surpassing what she set as a standard.
And for Deptford, Coach Dana Phillips said it's for the seniors. Talk about, I guess, what it's like to be a senior and get that one last chance to play in front of a crowd that both coaches called a natural rivalry, being how close both Deptford and GCIT are to each other.
Yeah, being a senior, it's pretty surreal. Your last game, because not everybody gets the chance to move on to the next level. So it's pretty surreal to be able to step on the field this one last time and hopefully bring home a win and be able to say, I was a senior, my last game, I got to play where the Union, a professional soccer team, plays. This is how I ended my season, and it's something that they're always going to remember and that they're always going to talk about.
22, Kayak Croach. Number 14, Caitlin Deal. Number 11, Megan Grinty. Number 2, Elena Gavazovic. Number 13, Alexandra Lowry. Number 9, Adriana Pepe. Number 3, Sierra Stitchler. And number 4, Haley Sulzbeck. She was coached by Brian Vahey, assisted by John Holland, Katie Knobloch, and Liz Roontree. The officials for this evening, Mr. Bob Rosh, Mr. John Barton, and Mr. Jim Doherty.
All right, we'll be right back here on the Gloucester County Educational Network. All right, we're back here at Talen Energy Stadium. Cheetahs started with the ball closest to the river end. Deptford's able to take it over. Brittany, we were talking before just about the seniors for both teams. You know, it's one last game for both of them as Angelina Schilling has a shot on goal, misses. Katie Deal to kick. Takes it back to about center. And we talk about, you know, what it's like for these seniors, and even, you know, like we have a couple of freshmen on both teams that are starting just to play on a field like this.
Definitely for the seniors to play on a field like this, it's probably, like I said before, it's a great way to go out. It's definitely larger than both teams are probably used to. And I mean, to see all these people in the stands, it's definitely a bigger turnout than you usually get at games. And for the freshmen, this is great experience for them because this is just the start of their career. So they're going to be taking this game, this energy, this feeling into the next oncoming seasons and are going to be able to pass it on to the new freshmen that are coming in.
Let's talk about the coaches for a minute. For GCIT, Mr. Brian Vahey, guidance counselor at the school. Brian's been at the helm for 3 years. As Michaela Kroos comes down to Deptford's side. They'll fight for the ball. It's cleared out by Trinity House of Deptford. Vahey has been at the helm for 3 years with a 34-26-5 record. Cheetahs have 12 wins this season, and a win today could break the school record. You know, Brittany, you played for GCIT. You know, how long was it before you guys were able to break the school? What was the school record back when you played?
Oh, gosh, honestly, I really do not remember, but I know from my freshman year, it was just a lot of building to get to the team that GCIT has now. From the start of my freshman year, watching this program and where it has come to, it has completely changed from a school that kids wouldn't want to play a sport at to a school that really gives it to some teams.
You know, obviously Mr. Vahey wasn't your coach, but he was the boys freshman coach for 3 years while you were attending the school. He also assists with the girls basketball and the boys volleyball program. He went to high school locally at Gateway, and he went to Penn State. However, he did not play soccer while he was there. For Deptford is Coach Dana Phillips in her first year. Shot goes wide. We talked to Coach Phillips before the game, and you know, we mentioned one of their big games this year was against Shalleck, and how she used to be the head coach for Shalleck. And we kind of talk about what that. I don't know if you've ever had that experience where, you know, your coach 1 year is now coaching your opponent. I mean, I guess that's got to be a special moment for both the girls on Shalleck and both the girls on Deptford, because both of them prove that they're the best team.
Yeah, I mean, coming from both ways, I mean, Deptford really wanted to show that they're not a team to mess with, but coming from Shalleck, that being their old coach, it's probably like they want to kind of show it to her, like, hey, this is the team that you're leaving. And I think Deptford did a great job of showing them the potential that they have and showing them, Shalik, how well this coach meshes with them, because not every coach is going to mesh with certain teams. And I think right now she's doing a great job of helping them get to where they're at now.
We talked about a little bit Deptford 10-8. Quite a few accomplishments this season. The Tri-County Conference Liberty Division Sportsmanship Team, and one player received the United Soccer Coaches Senior Excellence Award. One player received the South Jersey Soccer Coaches Association Senior All-Star Award, and 2 players received the New Jersey Girls Soccer Coaches Association Award. We kind of mentioned in the opening, this is the second winningest group of seniors for Deptford in 4-year history, with a record of 50, 27, and 4, along with a conference title, a Coaches Cup invitation, and a run to the state playoff all 4 years. So, obviously both teams are looking to get a win for their respective seniors. We talked to Coach Vahey before the game, and he said he expects a lot of tears either way, win or lose. And you see Reese Evans at the ball. Now talk about, I guess, like we said, playing on a field like this. It looks like to be much wider than a regular soccer field. We kind of talk about that, you playing at the college level.
Yeah, so it definitely is a big transition. I mean, especially with a field as wide as this, I think both teams are starting to realize to kind of hang out more towards the sides. Since the beginning, you've kind of seen them take advantage of all of this space. It's kind of different coming from, because when you don't have a field that's longer in length but a field that's wider in width, trying to realize that you have this extra space to run outside, and that's going to be a big plus for each team if they can find the space outside and send a girl through. Like if you look to the left right now, there's a nice gap that if they could play a ball through, it would definitely create some opportunities for them.
Cheetahs are making an advance with the ball. It's number 11, Megan Guarantee. Megan, we talked about, is one way from breaking the single season scoring record, but won't get it on that opportunity there. Stopped by Deptford's goalkeeper, Katie Morrison.
Beautiful run.
Another shot.
It looks like they're really trying to set Megan up to try and break this record right now. She's definitely been a key player for them in the box and finding her feet.
There was a stretch there in the season for the Cheetahs where Megan scored, and I believe it was 9 straight games. And 19 will be the goal record. Talk about what we're setting up here.
We're setting up for a PK right here, and I mean, this is definitely some pressure that they're feeling, goalkeeper-wise and player-wise. I mean, goalkeeper, definitely it's intimidating. That's my position, and I know that staring that player in the eyes.
And there it is.
1-0.
1-0 GCIT, and a new single season scoring leader for the Cheetahs. 33:09 to play in the first half. Congratulations, Megan Guarenti, on breaking a record set by probably one of the most talented players to come through Cheetah's history.
Definitely. And it was a beautiful PK, too. She placed it beautifully in the corner, ground, great composure. I didn't even think she was scared for that at all. She knew it was going in.
Now here we go. Deptford is going to try to come back from that, from the goal. Deptford has Leah Giles, who is, we talked about, a LaSalle commit. LaSalle being a bit of the D1 programs. I guess, how does it feel like, I guess, being a senior, knowing where you're going to school while your season's still going on?
I think it's definitely you want to prove yourself and go in with as much as you can when you're going into college. I mean, you're going back to step one of being a freshman, having to prove yourself. And the more you have, the more you have behind you, the better you're going to be set up. College coaches definitely take into as important their stats, the way you play on the field, the way you communicate, how goal-driven you are. So, I mean, for these seniors to already be committed, to show that they still have that drive, they still have that play, and that they still have that aggressiveness is going to be a key for them going into their freshman year.
You see, GCIT's trying to pad their lead a little more. Ball goes out of bounds. She just throw it in. It seems like the girls are taking your advice, spreading out just a touch more. However, there's still a large gap. Megan Garenti, second goal of the game.
Megan Garanti looks on fire tonight, honestly. She just kind of came out with that determination from the start, and I think that PK really set her up, and now she's 2-0 for her shots, and I feel like it's going to keep coming.
Definitely going to be a hard record to break in the future.
Definitely.
However, it's going to be hers to break for over the next 2 years, Megan only being a sophomore.
I think she's definitely setting some standards for this team. To have that kind of player on the field and to have that kind of leadership at such a young age, she's just going to take this team places.
Megan unfortunately had the opportunity to have the leadership of Jess Beck while she was a player here. You think a player like that just helps build, I guess, for the future and develop her as a player?
Yeah, I think honestly they worked very well together last year, playing of just being a senior and her being a freshman, to kind of have that guidance and to have that status to look up to kind of sets you up for your future here. And I feel like she's doing Jess Beck really proud right now with her composure on the field and the way that she's leading this team.
As Megan gets it back into the middle.
We have Lowry.
Goes out of bounds. Last year, Megan Garanti had just 3 goals against Hamilton, Salem, and Gateway. To go up to 22 this year, with her highest being 3 against Clayton, Williamstown, and Triton this year. She's already got 2 against Deptford. What's to stop her going for 3?
GCIT's doing a great job moving this ball around. They're very composed, and the way that they're passing to feet, they're not looking to pressure it, they're taking their time, and I think it's really doing them well. They're really controlling this game and keeping it in Deptford's half.
And obviously, as a goalkeeper, to have the ball out of your half most of the game, that's kind of what you want, right?
Yeah, it's kind of what you want, honestly. It definitely kind of puts the pressure on you when it comes back to your half, but I think this is a great way. Peyton definitely leads the team very well and talks to them about where the ball's going, and I feel like she does that, and it helps her keep the ball out of their half. If she can help the team direct to the outside and let them know where they're open, where there's opportunity, she does a great job of doing that and setting them up for success.
You talk about Peyton Clements. Peyton currently holds the single season record and career record for saves, wins, and shutouts. 441 career saves going into today. It's hard enough to get that in however many years. Looks like Peyton's been doing it for at least 3 years. Since your departure from the team. How hard is it to find a goalie that will play all those years like Peyton did?
I think it's hard to find a goalkeeper like that. There's a lot of kids that come in, and to find a goalkeeper with her drive, I mean, her stature, the way she's built, her height, she's really determined goalkeeper from the start. Working with her my senior year and her freshman year, she really took it upon herself to not let it get to her that she wasn't playing in net. She did get to play on the field, but that she didn't get to play in net. But she really took it, and coming in her sophomore year when I came back to help them during preseason, it was honestly amazing watching her. Beautiful shot from Lowry. Great shot. Great save by Deptford's goalkeeper, Katie.
We have about 27 minutes left here in the second half. Looks like we got our first sub of the game, number 18, Ms. Ziegler is going to be coming in. We're leaving number 11, Trinity House.
Emma Ziegler.
Ball is on Deptford sideline. Thrown in by Olivia Carter. Not having many places to throw the ball. Talk about how hard it is to get that ball in from the side when, you know, just all your options are just gone.
Honestly, it's very difficult. I think if Deptford were able to move around and maybe make some runs, check in and out, it would help them a little bit, because GCIT is doing a great job of surrounding the throw back, the throw forward. I feel like if they could throw some movement in, they'd create some more opportunities, because GCIT is pretty solid right now defensively. They have some pretty strong players, tough girls, and a good way to beat them, I think, would be to use speed and probably get around them.
You know, we had talked to Coach Vahey before the game, and we just kind of asked him, like, how do you bounce girls back up from a tough 1-0 loss to Morris Tech yesterday? Morris Tech being one of the best teams in the state, and a team that GCIT beat 2 years ago. Obviously, they look to be a very different team than what GCIT played 2 years ago, with their goalie being a D1 commit for goalkeeping. Coach Vahey said he's excited. The girls were excited the whole way over here because the girls knew they had another game left. And after the playoff game as well, you know, losing 3-0 to Toms River, yeah, after the girls were able to do the things they were this season, very excited to be able to play this last game.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And I think coming from that loss really just ignites a fire under this team. I mean, I remember coming back from my team, losses are just like that ignition that you need. You want to come back, you want to end your season with a win, you want to prove that you were the better team. I mean, because it's not always the better team that wins. So you want to come back and prove that you deserve to be out here on the field and that you're a team to mess with. So to end the season with one more win is just another game in the pocket for them.
You know, we talked about win there. Obviously, the Cheetahs had a couple tough losses to Williamstown and Kingsway earlier in the season, and it wasn't until a 1-1 tie with Highland at the end of about the end of September that Coach Vahey switched up the lineup a little bit, and then the Cheetahs went on about a 5-game win streak before a tough loss at Clearview, but they were able to win 2 more games before the end of the year. You know, just talk about, I guess, how important the second half of the season is, you know, after getting two very tough losses to division rivals.
I think the second half of the season is a big thing. So coming in, you get a lot of freshmen, a lot of new players, a lot of girls that are moving up from JV to varsity, a lot of girls that haven't played in this type of atmosphere. And it really, by the second half of the season, that's when the team starts to mesh together, honestly. I mean, it's that way throughout high school. It's going to be that way throughout any player that's furthering their career. The second half of the season is where your coach really starts to get a feel, too, for which players are going to be able to do what, which players work well together. The new lineup that Vahey set up, I think, was great for them. I think he realized that what he was doing wasn't working for the team, and he played around a little bit and found something that clicked and meshed with the team, because not every team's going to be able to play the same formation. And the formation that he has right now really looks like it's doing well for GCIT. They're up 2-0. I feel like this is something that he's probably going to want to stick with.
And, you know, he said he didn't really change a whole lot. As Clemens gets another save to add to her record. he says all he did was move 2 players, Ariana Pepe and Megan Guarenti, and that's when Megan went on to score 9 straight goals.
Yeah, I think you have that both of them played together too for club, which is a great mix to have a player that you've played with before that knows how you like to play. Pepe is probably a really great way of setting Megan up and has probably really helped her stride this season because she knows where she likes the ball. She knows what she likes to do. And same thing with Megan being able to help her out. I feel like that's definitely an advantage, especially with GCIT. You don't always get that. So to have 2 players that play together is just a big plus.
And it says on Megan's fact sheet here, they qualified for nationals in Las Vegas last year, which is her favorite soccer memory. Being able to travel, see the Strip along with the other side of Vegas, and they actually won the national championship in Frisco, Texas, this past summer. How does coming into your senior year, coming off a national championship, how does that compare and just give you a fire to keep going in your sophomore season for her?
I feel like it shows her that this is not the end and that she's got a lot of boots to fill and a lot of stats to build up for herself. Definitely, her and Megan are both going to be a name to remember as long as they keep up this good teamwork, this good stature. Looks like Deptford's taking it through.
You see Reese Evans there with the ball, passing it off to Lee Giles with the shot. Too high. Lee Giles, we should mention, anybody who watches our channel here, Gloucester County Educational Network, we saw our brother on the TV a lot, Riley. Riley was the quarterback for the Deptford High School football team and now is playing at Rowan.
Starting quarterback.
Well, listen to me, a starting quarterback in college is every man's dream.
She's got some big shoes to fill, definitely.
Okay, deal with the kick there. Trying to get that ball back out of the Cheetahs zone. Peyton being a senior. She's looking at both Newman and looking at Newman, Widener, Rutgers, Camden for school. Apparently I heard she took a visit to Newman and didn't tell her former mentor.
Yeah, I got a call from my coach and she was like, so this goalkeeper from GCIT came, and I was like, oh, who? And she was like, oh, Peyton Clements. And I said, oh, this girl didn't even want to tell me she was coming to look. Definitely, I loved playing with Peyton. She's definitely one of the nicest people ever, and to be able to work with her, play with her, and have the relationship that we have, I would definitely love to see her come to Newman and take on the shoes. We're actually looking for another goalkeeper. Me being the only one this year and having to put one of our top goal scorers back in net was definitely rough. But to have her come back and be able to fill a spot that we definitely need would be solid.
Peyton says her favorite soccer memory is when the team played against Clayton here last year. They had previously lost to them, and the energy when they crushed them was insane. Peyton says she's been playing soccer since she was 3 years old, and her dad was her coach. Favorite player or favorite pro and college team are both Michigan and Manchester United. Manchester United, one of the top soccer teams.
Beautiful ball set up for Megan.
Kicked out of there by Mackenzie Gandy of Deptford, number 16. Just under halfway through the first half. GCIT leads Deptford High School 2-0 here at Talen Energy Stadium in Chester, Pennsylvania. And we get the beautiful sight here from the broadcast booth of what they see every Union game. It's got to be really special, like we've talked about throughout the broadcast, to be down there and be able to see the girls just play on a field like this. I know our basketball team played at the Wells Fargo Center a couple of years ago. I know that was really special to them. So to do this 2 years in a row for some of these seniors has got to be something very special.
Yeah, I know this was definitely a dream from when I was a freshman to when I graduated to be able to play here. And we made the step of going and being able to play at Rowan University, and for them to take it a step further and play at PPL Park, now Talen Energy Stadium, is just wonderful. It's great. They've done a great job with this program, and it's just constantly growing.
And it's funny you mention that because, obviously any coach that loses five starters, 8 seniors, you would think, all right, we got to rebuild now. But Coach Vehi actually believes they could even be even better next year. A lot of the younger kids got to play this year, and he feels that his depth in the JV and the freshman program is a huge advantage over some schools.
Yeah, I feel like that's definitely a big step for them too, for Vehi's involvement in not only his varsity team but in his JV and freshman, because he knows that these girls are going to be the future for this soccer program, and he works with all of them, and he does a great job of making sure everybody gets this experience, everybody gets this time playing, and he really does what's best for the team.
And he did talk about playing time and how he wants to make sure all the girls get a chance to come in. So he said, don't be surprised to see a lot of subs in and out. Like he really does want to make sure this is a team experience. And it didn't seem like the result, win or loss, was the biggest factor in his mind. It was making sure all the girls got a good experience while they were here. Now, obviously, the win would be nice, but that was second to the fact that he wanted all his girls to be able to enjoy this incredible experience.
Yeah, especially at the end of your season. I mean, a lot of them are out here, of course, to win, but mainly just for the fun and the love of the sport. A lot of these girls probably will not move on to the next level and won't play, but it'll definitely make a great change for them and definitely build their confidence and just give them great memories overall.
Another save there by Clements. GCIT number 16, Luca D'Alessandro checks in. Peyton sends the ball almost to midfield.
Peyton does a great job playing a high line. That's something that Deptford's goalkeeper isn't doing. She's hanging back on her line. Peyton's being very aggressive this half, and I think that's definitely at an advantage for them to keep the ball moving forward and moving up. I feel like she's definitely closing down some of Deptford's shots.
You think it helps to play that far out when you're in the lead? Is that just is that something that you think they would rather do, I guess, up than be tied or down and play that far up?
Yeah, I just think overall it just kind of, from Peyton's perspective and them on the field, it's definitely closing down Deptford's view and their space in the net that they'll be able to shoot at. Peyton does a great job of making sure that she's aggressive and coming out for the ball, and she really shuts down a lot of opportunities by doing that instead of giving them all that space.
Checking in for Deptford is number 6, Victoria Wood, while GCIT is checking in number 20, Jacqueline Greco, and number 30, Skylar Pratt. Both are, Jacqueline's a junior, and Skylar is a sophomore. So there we talk more about the depth. He also went on to say that none of his midfielders or forwards are seniors. The only thing they're really, really losing is a keeper. But he believes that they have someone down the pipeline ready to fill Peyton's shoes. Obviously, they're going to be big shoes to fill.
Yeah, they still have Maddie McKnight, who was Peyton's backup this season. She's with a concussion, so she's out right now. But then they also have Samantha Baldacci, who's a sophomore and who during warm-ups was really showing her strengths in the net. And I think Peyton leaving is definitely going to hurt this team, but at the same time, I feel like they definitely have some nice shoes to fill her spot.
Checking back in for GCIT.
See, number 3, Sierra Stichler checking back in for the Cheetahs. Coach Vehi mentioned how much of a defensive and tough girl that Sierra Stichler is. Very, very physical. And he says that's been a huge advantage to his team, along with Megan and Adriana Pepe, who we mentioned have played together for their entire lives.
Yeah, Sierra, from watching, I've played with her sister, and she played college with me, and then suffered a second ACL tear, and that ended her college career. But from watching her sister play, you can definitely see the aggressiveness that she has, the composure she has on the ball, and she's just a solid player overall. To have that kind of stature where she doesn't let girls push her over is kind of a plus, and it really sets a nice structure for their set for the center of their field.
There's Clemens taking away another opportunity for the Spartans with about 12, a little over 12 minutes left here in the second half, or in the first period. Excuse me, first half. I've been watching too many different sports lately. Cheetahs are making a run at it.
Great tackle by Sierra. Deptford has definitely picked up their pace throughout this game. Definitely moving the ball further and further into GCIT's half with about 12 minutes left. They're definitely taking advantage of it.
Sierra mentions her favorite player, Jill Lloyden, who I believe played for the U.S. women's team. Another one that you trained with Jill.
Yeah.
Jill, Sierra says, Jill trained with me and how we make the player I am today. You know, talk about what it's like to have, I guess, a former U.S. women's national player be so close to us that, you know, you guys can train with her and really learn from the best.
Yeah, I mean, Jill is honestly a great person. She's probably one of the best people I've ever met and I will ever look up to. She's just solid all around. She's not only trying to help better goalkeepers, but she's looking to better every player, everybody that she meets. And she's definitely very helpful. She has brought on new partners with the Keeper Institute, which is her training program, and she's definitely been growing. And to be out of school and in such a local area, it definitely puts not only GCIT's players, but players from all around New Jersey in South Jersey at an advantage.
And it looks like she started also playing when she was 3, played for Deptford's Little League, and then went to travel soccer for Rage, and then PDA, and now is currently with South Jersey Elite Barons, who seems to be pretty much the biggest team around this area. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, they're definitely a solid team. Club-wise, they're definitely a team to run with. If you can hang with that type of team, you're definitely at the top. They've always been a solid program with some of the best teams there is, and you can see Megan's team and Sierra's team. They're definitely very strong players.
And it looks like you might have another girl coming your way pretty soon, as Sierra is interested in Newman University. Sierra just being a junior, so still has a little bit of time to decide where she wants to go. I'm called Newman University GCIT Part 2.
Number 22,
Micaiah Croce checks back into the game, number 22.
Number 16, Luca
DiCiandro comes in. Jenna Peel.
number 25,
11, Megan Griante.
Kane.
And number 25, Erin Kane. I think it's funny to mention Jenna Peel, as Griante gets goal number 3 here with 9:27 to play in the first half.
A hat trick on Talen Energy Stadium is something that this girl is going to remember for the rest of her life.
Jenna Peel, only a sophomore, and it's funny she mentions her favorite college player is Melissa Peel, who is her sister and graduated with you or the year before you?
The year before me. I actually just played her sister. Well, I didn't play, but we played their team, Rutgers Camden, this season, and it was great seeing her again. She's graduating this year, and it's insane to see how far she has come as a player from GCIT to Rutgers Camden.
on that, the kick there. Peyton gets it right off the Union logo in the Sons of Men section of the stadium. I was walking by the signs, and it said 90 minutes of standing, 90 minutes of cheering, and no opposing team's colors. So it's all you got to do to sit in the Sons of Ben section. Looks like I bet you we get some Cheetah fans in there of 90 minutes of cheering.
Oh, definitely.
In GCIT zone here. Ball goes out. Throw in by number 18, Emma Ziegler. They might need 20 minutes to take for the half today. Running a lot more than you're used to running.
So GCIT and Deptford are both doing a great job as transitioning as a team. So not leaving a great, huge gap in the middle, but moving forward as one and moving back as one. As you saw, Megan did a great job of coming back from forward and moving back to help defend that ball and keep it out.
Saw there Cassie Reyes attacking the ball. Every game that I've seen Cassie Reyes play, she is always just attacking the ball. Never gives up. Peyton gets the ball out once again. Stopped by Victoria Wood for Deptford. Talk a little bit about Lee Giles from Deptford, who's a senior. She started playing soccer when she was 4 at Deptford Soccer Association, and she's looking to follow in her sister's footsteps. Her favorite program, naturally, is the LaSalle women's soccer team.
And it looks like her favorite player is Lionel Messi.
We also have Reese Evans for Deptford, who's a forward. Her favorite memory is when she went to Seattle for the ECNL playoffs and they won their games. She started playing soccer when she was 2 years old for Highland. I imagine it's just a lot of running around when you're 2.
Back when soccer was easy.
She said she started playing when she saw her older brother and sister play it, and she went to play it too. Her favorite college team is Bucknell Women's, and her favorite pro team from Madrid
is Atletico.
Her favorite player is Antonine Griezmann, and her favorite retired player is Ronaldo. She went to the Women's World Cup in 2015 in Canada. That's a lot of fun. You ever been to a World Cup game?
I have not, and I'm kind of jealous she went. Hopefully when they come make it around this part, I'll be in attendance.
She is also committed to Bucknell University. Naturally, that's her favorite soccer team. Victoria Wood. Favorite soccer memories when she got a goal off a header. She started when she was 5. And I think like many of these girls out here, her favorite pro team is the U.S. women's soccer team. I remember watching the women when they won the World Cup, playing the game, and just the amount of energy and the pride I felt for South Jersey with Carly Lloyd leading the way for the team, along with Alex Morgan.
Yeah, I think South Jersey's really starting to pull out some solid players that are making some names for themselves, and definitely our state to start watching coming up in these next few years. A lot of girls like Tazara King are playing at the next level. Emma Wilkins, they're all just very star players that are all at the D1 level. Mallory Pugh is another one that's started. She wasn't from Jersey, but she's definitely showing that the young ones are starting to make their way through, and we'll probably see some familiar faces.
A nice save there by Clemens. Obviously, talk about a kick like that where, it is kind of one-on-one, but your players are still out there with you.
It's definitely nerve-wracking, but she had the confidence. She definitely had the right stance, and she directs her team very well. The way she set up her wall and the composure she had for that save. She made a great decision to parry it wide and instead of trying to catch it, and she was very solid and strong in the net with that save.
Corner kick there was by Riley Giles. Ball thrown back in by Reese Evans. It looks like the way that Giles and Evans play is a lot like the way Garenti and Pepe play. Would you agree with that? Or?
I would definitely agree with that. They're definitely some top-notch players, and they definitely work very well together on both sides. And I think they're definitely the players to kind of watch this game.
GCIT, number 36, Peyton Clements. Number 2, Alana Kavazvenovich. Number 28, Hannah Kuluba. And number 4, Haley Solzbach.
Cheetahs trying to get back on the Deptford side of the field.
It seems like Deptford in these last final minutes has really been holding the Cheetahs on their side, and it looks like the Cheetahs are trying to break through. It looks like Deptford probably started a little slow in this first half, and I think with less than 3 minutes remaining, it's definitely going to be a strong start from the second. It's only 3-0, and anything can really happen as long as GCIT stays in this mindset that they're at, and as long as Deptford keeps it up, this could be a really close game.
Another save there by Clements. Going to be a corner again by Reese Evans. Union have really gone all out for both schools. As you see, their names are around the stadium, alternating Deptford and GCIT. Top-notch introductions for the team. It's really nice to see the way the Union are treating both these high school players, like they're a part of the pro team. And obviously getting to use the locker rooms and just everything that the Union have done for this. So I know both schools are very grateful. Katie Deal with the 6th kick. Katie Deal is a busy girl himself, being a senior. Katie Deal is part of our career technical student organizations at GCIT. She is a 2-time national gold medalist in chapter business procedure. Her favorite college team is West Virginia women's soccer team. Favorite professional teams were Real Madrid. And it's funny, she says the way that she started playing soccer was her best friend Melissa said she wouldn't be friends if she didn't play. So she ended up quitting cheerleading and started playing soccer. It's very nice, and Katie's done an excellent job as one of the senior leaders on this team. Doesn't score a lot of goals being on the defensive side, but you can really see how much she does mean to this team.
Yeah, coming in her freshman year, I was a senior, and she was coming in from West Deptford late in the season, and with her stepping on the field, she just was a huge asset to the team from the start, especially in the back. Her composure, her kick, obviously. She was a great addition, and to see how far she's come these 4 years, she's definitely been a solid defender in helping GCIT with their records and their wins this season.
Megan Garanti was going for goal number 4.
Looks like a foot race to the ball.
Scooped up by Clements, but about 16 seconds left. I can't see she'll be too eager to throw the ball away. About 10 seconds left with the kick. Header by Reese Evans. Looks like the Cheetahs are going to try to keep it away from Deptford for the final couple minutes. And that's the end of first half. Cheetahs are going to the locker room. 3-0 advantage. And we'll be right back after this. we're back here for second half action at Talen Energy Stadium here as the GCIT girls soccer team playing host to the Deptford girls soccer team. GCIT leads 3-0. And joined with me today is Deptford's athletic director, Irv McFarland. Irv, welcome.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
And Irv has been the athletic director for a year and a half at Deptford High School, taking over for the legendary Maureen Gilda.
That's right.
Talk about what it's been like your first year as athletic director.
It's been very good. It's been exciting. A lot of good things happening within our programs. Excited for a good fall and looking forward to getting the winter seasons underway in the next month or two, and should be good.
And you mentioned you were the girls soccer coach.
That's right.
So what's it like to see your former assistant coach out there? She said that you guys have known each other for quite a long time. To have her out there on the field, a field like this in a game so special.
It's a great experience. As a coach, being able to set something like this up for your team is great, and obviously, Dana's done a great job, and it's cool. It's obviously a little bit different now, taking over as the athletic director. You don't oversee just one program, but every program, which is exciting in its own right. Coach Phillips has done a great job this year with the girls. They've had a lot of success this year, a lot of really good talent on the team, and it's been fun to watch.
I guess talk a little bit about Lee. Obviously one of your leaders going to LaSalle next year. How big of an impact has she had, and I guess how cool is it for you to know that Riley, her brother, was just as big of an impact for the football team?
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of people might not know this, but I actually started my career teaching elementary school, and I taught both Riley and Leah, as second graders on up through, and then transferred to the high school when they were both in high school. So I kind of experienced them in elementary school, experienced them in high school, and then obviously had the pleasure of coaching Leah in soccer for the first 3 years of her career. And she's been just an absolute cornerstone for our program, for the past 4 years. And, as good of a soccer player as she is, she's an even better person off the field. And, it's been great. The Giles family is synonymous with Deptford sports and athletics, and it's been a great experience and opportunity to be a part of them.
Shot there by Marlene Gonzalez goes wide. Looks like it's going to be a 6 kick for GCIT. Katie Deal lines up to take the kick. Just talk about the girls soccer program. This year. Obviously, Coach said it's been a pretty good year. A couple big wins. Just talk about it as a whole and what they've experienced this year.
It's been good. Obviously, like most other sports teams, you have some ups and downs. Some big wins against some pretty big schools, and a lot of excitement. The program's been heading in the right direction for a couple years now, and setting that solid foundation and that base that you kind of need to compete, especially with the conference changeover now, and playing our crossover games against the Tri-County Conference Royal Division, which GCIT is in. And it's competitive. GCIT knows better than anybody. You're playing a lot of Group 4 schools, and a lot of really competitive games come of it. And we've done a good job this year handling it. We do have a good group of seniors that have kind of led the way, and we have some very talented underclassmen that we are excited to see them grow in the future.
And I just talk about this rivalry. Coach said it just a natural rivalry. We play our powder puff on your field.
That's right.
We share a lot of the facilities.
Sure.
It's a nice teamwork that we have, I guess, between the two schools.
Absolutely.
But talk about like that, and how there's 6 girls from Deptford on the GCIT side.
Yep, exactly.
So girls have played each other for so long. Talk a little bit about that, and for what is good, how good it is for both schools.
Sure, I think it's great. Obviously from a location standpoint, we're like a mile down the street from each other, and like you said, with a lot of Deptford students, in particular girls soccer players, going to GCIT, I think it's a good rivalry. It's not one where schools despise each other or anything like that. I think it's just a natural, healthy rivalry where we've both achieved success, especially in similar sports. Girls soccer, both programs have had a lot of really successful seasons lately, and like you said, a lot of these girls have grown up together and played together, which makes it all the more of a rivalry when they know each other since a young age and they get to high school and play at that level, which was pretty cool.
Yeah, and going back to the coach, this is her first season with the team, and she came in a little bit late. What advantages do you think she has given them, being a female coach and even though she had a late start?
Right, yeah, Coach Phillips has been an assistant with me in particular the past 2 seasons. She was the former head coach at Shalleck High School before she took over, as the assistant at Deptford. And, yeah, she brings a lot to the table. Her knowledge of the game. She had a great playing career, played at TCNJ, continues to play at a high level today, and in women's leagues and stuff like that. And she's brought a lot to the table. I always joked with her as an assistant coach. I said she really is the. Oh, there's a goal. Good shot there.
Looks like another goal. Doesn't look to be Megan Garanti. Looks to be number 22. Michaela Kroos, a freshman who's GCIT's second leading scorer this year. And,
So going back to Coach Phillips, I joked with her. She's a counselor at Deptford, so obviously as a counselor, she has the skills to be able to communicate with people. She was a great athlete, so she understands the sports aspect of it. And as a coach, she's a great communicator and a great facilitator of the program. So yeah, she's brought a lot of really positive qualities to the program, and I'm excited to see what she does in the future and where the program heads with her at the leadership helm.
And I noticed one of her assistants there, Liz, I think she was at Rowan College in Gloucester County.
Yes, yep.
She also played for Kingsway.
Yep.
How key is it to have another person who knows this conference the way that Liz does, obviously being a player in it as well?
Absolutely. Yeah, I think it's huge. Coach Faulkner has done a great job, just coming right in and understanding exactly what it takes to be successful, which is a positive. She's a great athlete in and of herself. Like you mentioned, her playing career at Kingsway was really good, and I think that anytime you have a new coach, it takes a little bit of time, whether it's your head coach or assistant coach. And obviously this year both our varsity assistant and head coaches were new, and there's obviously going to be a little bit of a growing time for the players to get used to them and their style and their communication. But I really do think with the coaches that we have in place, we're heading in the right direction with continued success in the program.
And obviously Liz has a little bit of an advantage being under legendary John Culloch, who passed away a couple of years ago. Yep. They had a nice ceremony for his new field house this year.
Absolutely.
Yeah, both being Kingsway students ourselves before GCIT, had the opportunity to meet him, and what a wonderful guy and what he did for this conference.
Absolutely.
As you see, GCIT's clearing the ball out of Deptford's zone. Anything else you want to add for us today?
No, I mean, I appreciate you guys, filming this and broadcasting it. It's a great opportunity for our students, for both Deptford and GCIT. And special thanks to the union for having us here and for hosting us and allowing our girls to have a great opportunity and something they'll never forget, I'm assuming. So, but no, I appreciate it. Thanks for having me on, and good luck. Go Spartans.
Well, thank you so much, Mr. Irv McFarland, Deptford's athletic director.
Thanks.
It's so nice to talk to you.
Thanks.
As we have a little tussle down there on the GCIT side.
Looks like it's coming from Sierra Stichler again. Like Vehi said, she's a very tough force to reckon with. This ball's in a pretty key area for Deptford. This can be the start of a scoring opportunity for them. They're down 4-0. They're really striving for a goal right now.
Waiting to see if it's going to be direct or indirect. Looks like it's going to be a direct kick. Another save by Clements.
She just has great composure and fast footwork across the net. She did a great job setting up her wall and moving as the shot was going. She didn't even seem to flinch with that one. She knew she had it.
A little later on in the half, we're going to be joined by GCIT Athletic Director, Mr. Mike McAleer. He's going to come up and talk a little bit about the GCIT program. Ball's getting cleared out of the zone.
Megan Blaisdell is a key defender for this team. She's very fast and very confident, and her experience has definitely brought her up. She is a senior, so she's going to have they're going to have that gap in the field to fill next year.
blocked out there by Clements. Able to get up in time to get back in the goal. A second block and a save.
GCIT did a good job holding their line and making sure that they got forward and getting that nice offsides call. It'll really put them in a position to reset and start moving the ball back forward, because the ball's been spending the majority of the first half in their defensive end.
About 10 minutes through here in the second half. Megan Garanti trying to get the ball up. Shot just high by Alex Lowry. Just a touch too high.
GCIT is doing a good job finding that space. That was a beautiful setup by Megan to Laurie. Definitely, if they keep that up and keep finding that gap that Deptford's leaving open in their back on their back right side, GCIT can definitely capitalize in that area.
Alex Lowry is a sophomore, and it just so happens her favorite pro team is the Union, and her favorite player is Mark McKenzie. She's a three-sport athlete, plays basketball and softball, and she actually knows Mark McKenzie. Her favorite soccer memory is playing in Highland in the pouring rain. As we have number 13 for the Spartans, Reese Evans went down for a little bit on that play. She seems to be up and walking off. Wish her quick recovery. Hopefully nothing serious. Looks like they've been able to get off, and she should be coming back real soon.
Definitely a key player, definitely a player they don't want to keep out for too long. Hopefully get her a drink, make sure everything's okay, and then they'll be able to send her right back in.
GCIT's going to have the ball. Gets it back into Deptford's side, but no.
Into the match for Deptford, number 20, Kernisha Brown.
Entering the match for Deptford is number 20, Kernisha Brown. And now we're joined by GCIT Athletic Director, Mr. Mike McAleer. Mr. McAleer, thank you for joining us today.
Pleasure to be here, Zach.
I guess talk about what it's been like for the second year in a row for GCIT to play on the Talen Energy Stadium here.
I really feel happy for the kids. This is an awesome experience to play on a stadium like this, and where professionals play, and they really do make it like an event here.
There's Megan Garanti. Sorry to interrupt you. Megan Garanti running down side pass to Kroos. Open net. That's a second goal for Kroos. 5-0 GCIT. Sorry to cut you off there.
No, it's a pleasure to watch it from up here. That was great. No, they really do make an event, they go into the locker rooms and they come out to music and everything. So it's, just for both teams, it's an awesome experience to do. Not that many people get that experience, so I'm very happy for the kids to enjoy that, and for the parents too to experience and watch their kids in there. And,
Peyton extending her save record, and now Megan Garanti breaking Jess Beck's record. We talked about a little bit. Only a sophomore. Talk about how she's helped this program this year.
Well, I tell you, listen, you knew she was a nice player, and really she has just each week she's gotten better, and now people know who she is. They're marking her. They're doing the whole 9 yards. But she's still making opportunities to do things. So it's been just a year after Jess broke the record, to see her do it, and now she's done it with a couple goals to spare is very impressive.
And there was a shot there by Sierra Stichler, saved by Katie Morrison, the goalkeeper for Deptford. Number 6, Victoria Wood, is now down on the field. And talk about GCIT fall athletics as a whole. Quite a few teams made it to the playoffs. How did the fall season go for the Cheetahs?
You know what? I think our expectations were good. I think we exceeded our expectations. The girls volleyball team won the conference, first time since 2012. And one of the things, I'm not going to say, I think we've had more talented teams, but I thought this team really played well as a unit and stuck together and just had a great season. Number of wins and to win the conference, and they did really well. One of the things I'm really proud of is our cross country teams. Both of them placed in the top 5 last week. The first time they ever made it to states. They've really put a lot of hard work in the last few years, and to see them that come to fruition was really great to see. I thought the field hockey team, again, another team that has done very well. They make the playoffs. They had over 500. They had a great season. So it's been a very good fall.
And talk about the rivalry with Deptford. Coach Phillips before the game said it's just natural. And to feel it, we use their field for Powder Puff. We share a lot of facilities with them. What's it like to have that just close, natural rivalry with a great school?
Interesting, Left. This is the first time I know in soccer we play since this is my 6th year here. This is the first time we play. I think we've had some scrimmages and some things. In basketball, we've played them and a couple other things. But, we haven't played them as much. But, listen, you're right down the road. And obviously we do have a lot of kids that come from Deptford, and plus a lot of these kids do play club teams together and stuff like that. So, no doubt about it. And, again, I think it's always been a good relationship between ourselves.
Yeah, so you said that you've been here for 6 years now. How have you seen these programs grow, like the soccer program and all the other programs that they have? How have you seen them grow?
Well, one of the things when I first came here is that, from Pittman, and, when I was, this is my 14th year as an athletic director. When I first started, GCIT was in the division with us, the small division, classic, only had a few varsity sports, and at the time, just one level. Now, when I came, they're in the big division. They have a lot of kids. One of the things that I had said after my first year, I went to the superintendent, Mr. Dickin, and talked to the principal, was that, listen, if we're going to compete with these big schools, we have to have 3 levels. We have to have freshman sports. And they bought into that, and I think that's been a big help that we have more kids participating. We have more coaches now that help out, which I think is another positive for the school. I think we've got more kids playing sports. I can tell you that there's always some GCIT gear my first year, but you can't help but walk in the hallways now and see so many kids with GCIT sweatshirts and T-shirts of different sports. I think our school pride, I think our spirit has really grown over the last 6 years. I think that's the biggest thing. More people are participating. More people have skin in the game. They want to see us do well.
Looks like checking into the game. Oh, not quite yet. 21. Emily Bylon with the throw. We talked to Coach Vahey before the game. 5 seniors. How big have these seniors been to this team? But I guess it's also interesting to note that none of his forward or midfielders are seniors.
Well, I'd say, and he's not the only sport where you have very good senior players, but you also have underclassmen that have stepped up, and the talent level is as good or better, and that's a nice problem to have. Is that and I think one of the biggest things in our sports, as Brittany asked me, I think is our depth, is that you have people who fill in, and there's not that much of a drop off, and I think that's key to make any good team. Is that you always got to have injuries, and you have to replace somebody, that you have good players doing that.
Checking back into the game is Reese Evans. Glad to see she's back up. Also checking into the game for GCIT is Sierra String. Mr. McAleer, is there anything else you want to add to the broadcast today?
Not too much. I think, again, this is our 2nd year of being here, and it's been a great experience for the kids. And, again, then hopefully we hang on for the victory here, and it'd be a nice way to end the year.
Well, we thank you for allowing us to be up here today and coming up and talking to us for a little bit, and hope to see you soon.
Excellent. Thank you. Have a good one.
And back. Cheetahs are back into Deptford zone.
Looks like there's 25 minutes remaining. GCIT's up 5-0.
Now, in a game like this, you're up 5-0, about a little over 20 minutes left. Play a little bit more keep away.
Yeah, definitely keep away. Definitely trying to find the corner space out by the flags and crossing some balls in. And definitely this is the time that we're going to see some players that didn't get to get as much playing time throughout the season, that we'll get to see them come in and really show what they have. This is a great time for them to showcase what they're going to bring to the table next year and get the feel for this big play.
You know, and I guess we just say almost an audition of sort as Megan Garanti shoots on goal and hits the net again. 6-0, GCIT, 24-23 left to play in the game. Goal number 4 for Megan Garanti. She's going to make it very tough on herself to break the record next year.
Definitely. And see, Megan Garanti is a great player, and she is just a natural goal scorer. There's not many players that can go out there and just be that type of goal scorer. It's a big shoe to fill, and it's something that, honestly, you're kind of born with. And she really takes full advantage of it by finding the back of the net like it's nothing.
It looks like Megan's going to take a seat for a little while as a host of Cheetahs check in. Get those names in just a little bit.
Into the match for GCIT, number 25, Erin Kane. Number 31, Jenna Peel. Number 30, Skylar Pratt. Number 12, Emily Rowe. And number 23, Peyton Walsh.
So 5 players are going to be checking in for GCIT. Number 25, Erin Kane. Number 31, Jenna Peel. 30, Skylar Pratt. 12, Emily Rowe. And 23, Peyton Walsh, who had a sister play for the team. I think she might have been the year after you, in Paige Walsh. And before that, checking back into the game for Deptford is number 4, Olivia Jackson. It looks like number 20, Kanisha Brown, will take a seat on the bench for a little bit. Now, talk about just seeing so many sisters of girls you played with or came before, right before you, right after you. Kind of talk about that a little bit, and seeing all these girls, passing the tradition down to their families.
Yeah, I think it's really nice to see these girls coming in, and most of them fill their siblings' positions. I mean, Sierra's playing where Savannah played. You have Peyton playing where Paige was. You have Melissa Peel's sister, Jenna, playing where she's at, where she used to play. And I think it's really nice to keep it in the family. GCIT's not like sorry, I'm trying to find the words to say.
No problem.
GCIT is just like a big family school. They're just a big family.
Looked like that was Olivia Carter got the shot off. But another save by Clements. It's going to be very hard for the next goaltender, or to goalkeeper, that is, to save, to get the record that Peyton did. There's Cassie Reyes with the ball. Again with the header. Trying to keep that ball on the Deptford side and possibly add to their lead. You got to think that Clements is feeling pretty good with a now 6-0 lead, and maybe be able to be a little more aggressive, farther out, like we talked about in the first half. Still up on that top line there. I mean, I guess as a goalkeeper, you want as many goals as you possibly can, but does it help your play? I guess you feel like if you make a mistake, it's not going to be the end of the world.
It definitely helps on her end knowing that they're up 6-0, but it also adds the pressure, as this could be another shutout to her record and something that she wants to keep in the book. I mean, that definitely could have been something that messed up another stat for her. Shutouts are definitely great to have on hand. Her defensive line did a great job of holding their space, but I think this is definitely just as nerve-wracking for Peyton as it is for Deptford, trying to hold off, as she's not getting that many shots off.
Indirect there by Katie Deal. So we're going to have a couple substitutions coming up here in a minute. Nice footwork there by Leah Giles. Aaron Kane trying to clear the ball out of the GCIT side of the field and keep the shutout record going. And entering the game for GCIT is going to be number 20, Jacqueline Greco, and number 3, Sierra Stichler. And for Deptford, it's going to be number 20, Kanisha Brown, who looks like she is going to be entering goal. You see that very often in soccer. Is it kind of like hockey where you don't switch goalies as much?
Definitely. I mean, it's really sound to keep a goalkeeper in as long as you can, especially one that has a connection with the team. It looks like Deptford's definitely had some goalkeeper injuries and some goalkeeper losses this season. So to have players step up and take that position is definitely a big help for them. It's not easy being back there and doing that. You got to be a special breed. So kudos to Miss Brown and Miss Morrison.
Deptford is trying to find any way they can to put up a fight and get into GCIT's goal. I would guess that 20 minutes left here, or 19 minutes left now in the second half. I guess the girls are starting to get a little tired, running up and down the field as big as it is. As Deptford brings in 2 more players, number 15, Angelina Schilling, and number 6, Victoria Wood, who will be checking back into the game. Talk about, I guess, the kind of stamina you need to be able to play in a game like this, where we talked about several times that the field is wider than what they're used to.
Yeah, it's definitely smart moves by the coaches to keep the subs and keep the fresh feet coming in. There's definitely some key players that are probably really feeling this game and are going to definitely feel it tomorrow. But it's definitely smart by the coaches to keep throwing in some fresh feet, especially against maybe some tired defenders or some tired offenders, to throw in a fresh defender in there. And it definitely switches them up and keeps them on keeps both teams on their toes.
That ball goes out of bounds for Deptford. She just threw the ball in. Number 11, Trinity House, clears it out of Deptford's side. Number 25.
Aaron Kane.
Aaron Kane's not letting it back into the GCIT zone.
Yeah, so Aaron's only a sophomore, and this is definitely one of the players that I was talking about earlier that's going to be trying to fill some of these big spots that are going to be missing, with Katie Deal leaving, Megan Blaisdell leaving. She's definitely going to be a player to watch as she moves up in her career.
That's number 30. Skylar Pratt dishes it off to number 10, Sierra String.
Great save by Deptford's goalkeeper and great composure by her team. Number 15 was really smart by going behind her goalkeeper and keeping them in, Angelina Schilling.
Shot. Looks like it went off her own player there. Very physical sport, soccer is. As a kick there by number 31, Jenna Peel. Another save there for Kamisha Brown.
Definitely been a very back and forth game. It's gone from GCIT's half back to Deptford's half, and both teams have done a great job transitioning and moving through. It looks like GCIT's hanging 2 players up top, which is smart, playing a little bit more defensively, trying to keep the 6-0 win. personally, if Deptford's playing a 3-2, 3-2, I would look to try and maybe push some players up. It looks like their defenders now starting to get a little more offensive. With 6-0, you got to be going in looking for a goal. 15 minutes left.
And looks like number 5 is going to check in Daniela McCurdy for Deptford.
Checking back into the match for Deptford, number 5, Daniela McCurdy.
Looks like it's going to be... Can't quite see that number yet. Looking like number 4 is coming out of the game, Olivia Jackson. Looks like Coach Phelps is going to try to get some of our younger players in there and also to give them the same experience. Maybe not the result necessarily that they're going to want, but still have 15 minutes left. That's a lot of time.
Yeah, at this point in the game, I think their coach is just trying to, Deptford's coach, Coach Phillips, is definitely just trying to get some experience for her players, especially GCIT as well, where they're at in this game. It's friendly competition right now, trying to see where they're going to be next year, what they're going to bring next year, and who's going to step up to the plate. Looks like Erin Kane's down right now after a nice little collision.
As you see, Coach Vahey coming on the field with athletic trainer Miss Goff. Miss Goff does a great job keeping all of our players safe throughout the year. See the players starting to come back a little bit.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to sub Erin out with Hannah Cuba.
And while this injury timeout's going on, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back. Erin Kane seems to be walking off, a good sign for the Cheetahs.
Yeah, with her short time out there, she definitely played and really showed her run out there. It looks like they've made some shifts in their lineup.
Number 19, Ashlyn Valeri.
And Ashlyn Valeri, number 19, will be checking in for Deptford.
And Hannah Kaluba's checking in for GCIT, filling that spot.
Number 28 is the jersey that Hannah wears. Looks like it's going to be a kick for Deptford. Also, number 13, Alex Lowry is checking in.
Alexandra Lowry.
Looks like it's going to be an indirect kick.
Beautiful ball.
And a save by Clements. Seems to be a resounding theme tonight. Clement clears the ball out of GCIT's side of the field.
GCIT has definitely done a great job this entire game of passing to feet, showing their skill, their moves. Definitely been a solid game for them.
We race to the ball. It's going to be number 3. Sierra Stichler up to Cassie Reyes. Stichler now looking to find the net herself. Cleared out by Deptford. Out to number 11, Trinity House. The Deptford seniors are now really trying to fight just to at least get one goal on the board. As Reese Evans and Leah Giles are leading the way for the Spartans.
Sierra Stitcher's been really active these past few minutes, and I think she's really trying to get a shot off on net and get her name up there. She's also one of their top goal scorers, I'm pretty sure, with about 7-8 goals this season. She is definitely a solid player and somebody that's going to be one of those role models for the new players coming up, as she's one of the midfielders that will be there coming into the next season.
6 goals, 7 assists for Sierra this season. We talked about Michaela Krosel earlier, who's 8 goals, 7 assists, and leading the way in assists as well as Megan Garanti, who has 13.
Checking into the match for Deptford, number 18, Emma Ziegler.
Emma Ziegler checks back in for Deptford.
Haley Solsbeck.
While number 4, Haley Solsbeck, checks in for the Cheetahs. Ball's been cleared out by, looks to be number 15, Angelina Schilling for Deptford. That ball right back up to Stitchler. Kick looks to be blocked by Schilling. The header might have been too much.
Yeah, right there with Sierra Stitchler and let's see, number 15. Angelina, you get to see that nice friendship rivalry that we have here. Sierra being one of the girls from Deptford, and I'm sure they've definitely played with each other and known each other for a while. So to see Sierra go down and Angelina help her back up is definitely some nice friendly competition here.
Yeah, we did talk about earlier that Deptford's team won the sportsmanship award as Peyton comes all the way out and clear. A little risky move there by Clements.
Yeah, I think she made a great decision, though. Definitely waiting to see if it was going to come back in the box, but definitely making that executive decision to call off her players so that she could clear it up the field and let them reset. Definitely was a building opportunity for the Cheetahs.
Nice fight there between String and Schilling, with Schilling winning the little battle there. Header by number 31, Jenna Peel. Ball goes out. Looks like number 2, Alana Guzmanovic. Say that 10 times fast. Fun fact about Alana I learned the other day is she's Croatian, and that's why her last name is so long and confusing. Her family and her are also huge Flyers fans. Let's go Flyers. She just enrolled to Rutgers Camden for nursing. She is not going to continue playing soccer. She started playing when she was 10 years old.
Sierra Stitchler finally finding the back of the net. Beautiful composure, beat out her defenders, and just took that goalkeeper straight on.
9 minutes to go. 7-0 GCIT.
Definitely a statement play right there, as one of Deptford's own comes and brings it down and puts it away for them.
She started playing soccer when she was 10. Her dad got her into soccer because he used to play in college. She played for Mantua Township, Washington Township United, and GCIT. That's Alana Guzmanovic. Like a lot of the girls, one of her favorite memories is beating Clayton on the Union Field last year. And favorite player is Luca Mondrick.
Yeah, I definitely think this is going to be a lot of these girls' favorite memory. I mean, it's not very often that you can say you've played on a professional field and that you, at this point, it looks like, have beaten both teams that you've played on this field.
The ball goes well into the stands. It's going to be a long run for someone to get that ball.
Checking back into the match for Deptford.
Yeah, that was a high shot by Leah Giles.
Olivia Carter, number 12, checks back into the game for Deptford. We talked a little bit about Sierra earlier, who currently looking at Newman University. As we get a 6th kick.
Yeah, it looks like they're giving Jalen Greco a chance to really show what she has as Caitlin Deal's leaving this season. She has a very strong foot for 6 kicks and probably is going to be one of the main forces to reckon with next season.
About 7.5 minutes left here in the second half. GCIT will get the ball back. Ball goes out of bounds once again. This time Deptford will take it back over. Deptford wasting no time. Ball goes out to the sideline again, thrown in by number 5. Danielle McCurdy. Seems like the Cheetahs are trying to push it to the outside. Is that a strategy there to try to waste some time off the clock?
To keep the ball to the outside, to the corner flags, and just kind of hold it there. They definitely want to try and work it back up. This is kind of a dangerous position for them.
Clemens gets another save there.
Yeah, but Deptford's doing a great job. I mean, with a little over 6 minutes left, definitely fast play is going to be their main key right here, and for GCIT to try and slow it down. They're both going for 2 separate things, so it's all going to depend on how fast this game goes, depending on which team's going to hold control of this ball.
Back into Deptford's side. For now, it's like a little trip up there. Deptford gets it back onto GCIT's side. We're 13. Reese Evans with the ball. Host of Cheetahs are there to clear it back out. Back up to 28 for the Cheetahs. Hannah Kluba. Shot there on her 16 for Deptford. Mackenzie Gandy. Stopped by Clements. Looks like a couple Spartans are going to check back into the game.
Deptford's doing a great job keeping this game up and keeping their momentum up. It doesn't look like they're slowing down at all. 5 minutes left, you're down 7-0. A lot of teams would just give up, and Deptford's been fighting through. They've been moving the ball back into GCIT's half, and they're just waiting for the opportunity to capitalize. But Peyton's been doing a great job of closing down those opportunities and being aggressive.
GCIT has the ball on Cheetah's side. 7 different Cheetahs will enter. Number 21, Emily Byland. Number 14, Katie Deal. Number 45, 54.
Victoria Wood. And number 21, Grace.
Number 9, that is Adriana Pepe. 11, Megan Garante. Looks like we're going to bring back our starters. Let them play out the rest of this game.
I feel like that's a solid, safe way to go on Coach Vahey's part. You definitely want to have some solid players in, players that are definitely going to keep that ball out of the net, keep up this 7-0 win, and have a solid end for some of them for their careers.
Katie Deal kicks that ball well up into Deptford's side of the field. Megan Garante go for one more goal. Why not? Cassie Reyes. Ball goes out. It's going to be Victoria Wood.
For GCIT, number 15, Megan Blaisdell. Number 21, Emily Byland. Number 15,
Megan Blaisdell. Number 5, Kayla Dajanowski.
Number 11, Megan Parente. Number 9, Adriana Pepe. And number 17, Cassandra Reyes.
Number 17, Cassie Reyes, all checked back in with Katie Deal, Emily Byland, Adriana Pepe, and Megan Garante. 3:09 here and counting in the second half.
GCIT has been giving up a lot of free kicks, which is pretty dangerous outside of their box. Honestly, that's kind of an area that you want to keep those fouls away from. They've had a lot of fouls against them this game, and they've gotten very lucky.
That direct kick went wide of the net. Katie Deal ascended out of the zone once again with a 6 kick. I don't think Katie's going to be in too much of a hurry with about 2.5 minutes to play. Fighting for control. GCIT attempts to take that ball away. Definitely making Deptford fight for it, that's for sure.
Now, smart move by GCIT would just be getting that ball and just sending it down through Deptford's half, keeping the ball away. I mean, they have about 1.5 minutes left, and this is a make it or break it for shutouts.
Emily Bylon trying to get the ball up to Kayla Dęjowski. Looks like the Spartans are going to take the ball back there, number 3.
GCIT is getting pretty risky, with all these fouls right now. Personally, I think this should be a time where they just stay strong, play their game, and try to look to keep these types of opportunities from happening.
Another save by Clements. We'll get her official number after the game, and that will be the new record for GCIT.
Under a minute left.
There comes Leah Giles. Stopped there by number 15, Megan Blaisdell. Able to kick that ball out of bounds. Looks like Giles will be the one to throw the ball in. And goes outside the net. It's going to be, once again, another 6 kick for Katie Deal with 25 seconds left. We just had one good kick here, and game should be about over.
Yeah, GCIT played a strong game. Deptford was coming back every second, and both teams were here to have fun.
They have about 5 seconds left on the clock. One final kick, and the save by Clements, and it is officially a 7-0 victory in favor of the Cheetahs over Deptford High School.
Yep, and another shutout to Clements' record. A great way to end her season as a Cheetah. Great way for all these seniors to go out, and a great way to end their season.
All right, we are going to take a quick break right here. We're going to go down on the field and have a post-game chat with Coach Brian Vahey, and our stars of the game, Megan Garante and Peyton Clements. We'll be back right after this. With Peyton Clements, the winning goalkeeper, and Megan Garanti, 451 career saves. You know, what does it mean to you to know that you're going to be in GCIT's record books for some time to come?
I think it's really special. GCIT holds a really special place in my heart, and I'm really excited to be able to be part of the athletics.
You know, and just talk about, you know, how you felt today. Obviously, had quite a huge lead for most of the game. Yeah, how's that allow you to just play your game and just do what you got to do?
Before the game, I was really, really nervous. I was like shaking, and my hands were really sweaty. And then as we started playing, I kind of just focused in, and then we got up and we kept scoring and scoring, and I was just able to like focus rather on my play rather than just keeping the ball out of the net.
You know, and obviously last 2 games have been losses, and some pretty big games. You know, losses. You know, didn't want to suffer. You know, how is it to come out today, playing a game like this, and kind of just erase those losses in your head for now?
The energy was really, really high, and I'm really happy to be ending my senior season with a win on the Union Field.
Awesome. Thank you. And we're going to switch to Megan. Megan broke Jess Beck's record with the first goal of the game. As a sophomore, how huge of an accomplishment is that to you?
It means a lot to me. I'm really excited that I can accomplish this and be with my team.
Playing with Jess last year, I guess is it something special, watching her break it last year and then you able to do it this year?
Yeah, she really inspired me to break it, and when I saw her break it, I wanted that to be me next year, so here we are.
And 4 goals today, ending your career or ending the season with 23 goals. And how tough is it going to be for you to repeat this next year?
I'm going to work really hard. I'm going to try again, and we'll see what happens next year.
And what does this win mean to you guys? Obviously, in a game like this, your second time playing here, what's it like to beat Deptford on the Union's field?
It feels amazing. I'm really proud of all my team and everyone's efforts, and it's really huge for us as family and everything like that.
And obviously, quite a few of you guys return and just give you a fire to start next year. Obviously, you don't want to, losing in the Tech Tournament final and the first round of playoffs, just give you guys a fire for next year.
Yeah, I think everyone's really excited for next year already, and we're going to do good things next year.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
All right, Mr. Vahey, so big win, 7-0. You had some record breaking. How's it feel to hold the most number of wins in a season now?
It's just great. It was our goal since day one. We had a rough couple last few weeks. The playoffs didn't go well, and then Morris Tech got us last night. But we lost to 2 quality opponents, and we knew Deptford was going to give us all they had tonight. I know they had some injuries, but they're well coached. They have a great group of girls, and we did everything we could. We just played a great game. It's great for the girls, seniors, to go out on top.
And how does it feel watching Megan beat out Jess Beck's record? I know that was a big step last year, and now she just set another standard for herself. So how does that make you feel?
The kid's something special. I moved her to forward 12 games ago, and she's got about 17 goals since then. So wish I would have moved her to forward a little sooner, but she broke it. Jessica Beck's a great young lady, a great athlete and a great person. So Megan's in great company, and I got her back for 2 more years. So we'll see what she could do next year.
So how do you feel about losing your starting goalkeeper, who also set some records of herself with shutout saves? So how do you plan to move forward from losing that type of player on your team?
We have some keepers in the system, but Peyton Clements, since I took this job 3 years ago, has been my keeper. So it's certainly going to be different looking back into that goal and not seeing her. She's given me all she had for 3 years. She's an absolutely wonderful person. She was a captain this year, a great leader. I can't say enough good things about Peyton Clements.
And what's your plan ending the season with a win and moving on to next season? What's your plan?
We just have a lot of youth. Sierra Stitchler's our captain, taking us into next year. She's going to be a senior next year. She's a junior this year. The kids are in good hands. I know she's going to lead them in the right direction, and we're going to try to break some more records next year.
Great. And is there anything else you want to say?
No, I just want to say thank you to our seniors. A great group of girls. I've had them for 3 years, and we lose 8 seniors, and our manager, Jessica Nestler, who's been there all along with us the last 3 years. So congratulations, girls, and good luck moving on to bigger and better things.
All right. Thank you, Coach Vahey.
Congratulations on getting 13, girls. Good work. I'm very proud of you all. To our seniors, thank you for everything you've done the last 4 years. I only got to watch it for 3, but thank you for all 4. Way to go out on a high note. I'm very proud of you all. We're going to start moving towards the bus.
Back here now for my partner, Brittany Cullison, our producer, John Mondelli, our crew, Fred Buchter, Amy Buchter, Kevin Lamasher. I'm Zach Bates. Have a great evening, everyone.